Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So my name is Miko.
And I'm Colleen. And today we want to talk about something that we really miss.
And that's traveling. So actually, with everything that's going on right now with the pandemic, and not a lot of people are able to travel because basically what's happening is borders have been closed, airports has been closed, flights has been canceled. So it's really a pandemic that's happening all around. Okay, so I wanted to provide you something of a travel vlog here on Mixsan, and we will be talking about
tips for first-timers in Macau.
So we actually been to Macau one time, right?
Yeah.
And we came up with a few things that will actually help you guys, whoever hasn't been to Macau yet, so you can use these tips. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our number 6. Okay, so you can ride a ferry or bus if you'd like to go to Hong Kong or back to Macau or vice versa. So you can ride a ferry or bus if you'd like to go to Hong Kong or go back to Macau or vice versa. So it's actually a great thing because if you'd like to stay in Hong Kong for, let's say, 1 to 2 days, you can actually go there. And it doesn't need a visa to go there, right?
Yeah, and if you're someone who doesn't like getting seasick or anything like that, the bus is actually a great option for you. They actually added this last year. It's pretty
I think
new.
it's last year.
When we went there, 2018, there was no bus or anything like that, so we had to take the ferry, and he was seasick.
Yeah, I was seasick. So if you can see here in the photos right now, I may be smiling, but deep inside, I am sick. I was pretty sick because during that time, the waves were actually strong, and during the time we went there was actually a typhoon. Yeah, so
it was all foggy, it was dark.
Yeah, it's pretty windy as well,
Yeah.
and it was extremely cold. Yeah, so as you can see here in the video, the waves are kind of strong, and that's one of the things that you should keep in mind if you would like to go to Macau or go to Hong Kong via ferry, but you can also do it by bus.
It's actually also cheaper to do it by bus, but I believe it takes longer.
Yeah.
For the ferry, it was around
An hour?
$200 an hour, and it was around $200 or $180,
Okay.
something like that. And they also have a schedule.
So let's go ahead and go to our number 5.
Alright, so for our 5th tip for you guys is to know that if you're arriving in Macau with a converted Hong Kong dollars, you don't need to convert it to MOP because Macau accepts HKD. And yeah, it's pretty easy for us. We didn't have to go to any...
Yeah, that's actually a great thing because we didn't need to go to any money changer to have it converted to MOP and then have it reconverted again to HKD. So it's actually pretty helpful. But the thing here is every time you pay in HKD, you will get some MOP back. So that's one thing that you need to keep in mind. And if you are only staying in Macau for, let's say, a short period of time, and maybe you would like to travel to Hong Kong, they won't be able to accept MOP as payment there, right?
So make sure to keep all of your MOP spent or spend it all before you go back to Hong Kong. And I'm sorry for the audio, it's really raining hard outside.
Yeah, it's raining.
It wasn't raining like this. We said there was a typhoon when we arrived in Macau, but it wasn't raining at all when we went there.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our tip number 4. Okay guys, so for our 4th tip, it's actually basic. So this is something that you always need to do every time you leave your hotel. If you're in a different country, you need to have this with you always, okay? Always bring your passport, especially if you will be going to Cotai Strip. So, here.
So it's important because Venetian, if you're planning to go to the 5-star hotels with casinos in Macau, you'll definitely need this, especially because in our experience we got lost a bit around Venetian. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but we got lost there. We couldn't find the exit to the bus station or towards the shuttles. So they told us that we had to go through the casino, and when we went there, a bouncer stopped us and asked for our passports, and without it we had to go all the way back and find another way to find the entrance.
Crossing the casino was a shorter way for us to get to where we need to, and if you don't have your passport, you won't be able to go inside a casino. So this is a tip for you. Now let's go ahead and go to tip number 3.
Alright, so just like our tip number 4, this one is actually also pretty basic whenever you go to any country at all.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
Make sure you wake up as early as possible, especially in Macau if you're going to visit St. Paul's ruins on the following day. Make sure you wake up as soon as possible because we had our buffet breakfast at 7 and we got to St. Paul's ruins around 8.
8?
Yeah, 8 a.m. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
We thought we were early, but it was actually pretty late. We'll show you a picture here.
Okay.
And if you can see in this photo, we tried our best to capture at least a selfie for both of us, but the background was just not allowing us to. And in the second photo, you will see that there's just a lot of people. There's a lot of tourist groups. And they're all from a different country, so if you want to take advantage of the ruins as your backgrounds as solo, make sure you go there as soon as possible. Or I've heard that if you go at night, sometime between 6 p.m. before they close, there's actually no more tourists around, so you can also go there, but we suggest going in the daylight. It's beautiful.
And as you can see here in the photo, a lot of people are scrambling trying to take a picture of the St. Paul ruins. So everyone was trying to strike a pose, you know, get in the view, and it's kind of hard to get a solo picture of yourself without these people in the way. So this is like a good tip because it's actually great to wake up early so you can at least spend more time in a different country for you to, you know, explore more about it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our tip number 2. The very important tip of them all. And that is research, research, research. So actually, it's important to research, you know, about the weather and the people in the country that you're going to, because it is actually important that you should know if they are able to speak in English or not, because communication is key, right? And it's something that if you do have questions about something, if you want to know where you want to go, you can just ask someone and they'll be able to help you or answer that question. So research the country before you go so that you'll be able to maximize the things that you'll be able to do in that country. This is a selfie of us, and as you can see, I actually mentioned about the weather earlier. We are wearing shorts and
a tin top.
A tin top, yeah. So as you can see here,
you had a jacket. I was just carrying a cardigan.
Yeah, and we weren't actually prepared for the weather because, you know, like I said, important thing is research. So we weren't able to research the weather. So during the time that we went to Macau, it was extremely cold. And one of the reasons for that one is because of the typhoon also that was in that area during the time. But it was extremely cold. It was around 13 degrees.
Even reached 12,
yeah. 12, maybe lower than that. I really don't know. It was freezing cold.
So cold.
Yeah, and we haven't prepared any pants or maybe jogging pants or so, anything that would cover our whole legs and arms and all that. We weren't prepared. So guys, this is the big tip that we can give you.
But just to defend ourselves, we actually did a small research. So when I researched about the weather, it said chili.
Okay.
You know that in the Philippines, when you say chili, it's chili. Just, it's a little bit of cardigan will help. A small sweater will help. It did not help at all when we went there. It was so cold. It was freezing cold. Like when we stepped out of the ferry all the way to the first taxi stand. Of course, we had to take a taxi because we did not know the area yet. But the walk to the taxi stand was
unbearable. It's really unbearable. My teeth were shaking, my lips were shaking. Yeah, and then I was doing that, man. I was doing that. It's really, really cold.
It was freezing.
Yeah, so
don't do the mistake that we did. If they say chilly, try to find out the degrees.
Yeah, and at least have one pants maybe ready just in case. If you want to wear shorts, you can wear shorts. But at least have something warm to wear just in case. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our last tip.
Yeah, and for us, one of the most important ones that you need to know when you go to Macau, let's go ahead to number one. Alright, so for us, the most important that we have for you guys is to make sure that you always take advantage of the free shuttles offered by hotels. So that includes 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5-star hotels. So they have this shuttles. You don't need to present anything. You don't need to be a customer of the hotel. You don't need to be a guest of the hotel.
These shuttles will actually take you to their hotel, and if you want, you can use that hotel to stay in for the night or day. And one of the good things in using these shuttles is they usually have free Wi-Fi inside. It's for free, so you don't need to use like a taxi or bus to get to your destination. You can take advantage of the shuttle or the free shuttle. These shuttles have a schedule. So it is important for you to find out what is their last or latest schedule that they have, so that you can maximize the time in that area that you would like to move around, roam around, and take pictures of and all that. And if you'd like to go back to your hotel, just remember the schedule so that you'll be able to go to your hotel in time and for free. Alright, so I hope you guys like our 6 tips. If you are your first timer going to Macau, I would really suggest you to use these tips because it is a lifesaver. This will really help you.
Especially number 2.
Especially number 2. Yeah, especially number 2. Remember that. Okay guys, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any tips or another additional tips that you would like first timers to do in Macau, you can just put it here below in the comment section. So, I'm Miko again.
And I'm Claudine. Thank you so much for watching our tips for first timers in Macau.
Peace out!